12, then all of a sudden we have this opening, which is apparently increased black star velocity, moving left in the orbit diagram more quickly. But these events now, including this event right here from Japan of last year, this was my backside alignment event, and all of this is under question. All of this right here is now under question. I'm not sure. We have so many quake events right through here in early April. We were expecting an event April the 2nd, which would have given us just about the same line, which didn't come through as predicted. Then was it the Stu Noodle report? Was he right on 4-6? He thought we had an alignment event here. Looking at the evidence now, we're in this event window, and I do not have sufficient data to be able to tell what's what. This reminds me a lot of what happened after the Solomon Island event on February the 6th, 2013, whenever the tectonic plate broke in two with that multiple Solomon Island quake events. The dynamic in the Pacific Ocean Ring of Fire changed. The pressures began shifting towards Alaska, and I'm just sitting here gathering all the data and realizing, like I said earlier, that I have more questions than answers. Let's go to, let's look at the earthquake, at earthquake 3D, and what we have over the last day versus what we have had over the last week. And definitely lots and lots of seismicity going on. Pressure's building up in this area right here, moving over from from Russia and from Japan. And we could have this alignment event that I'm looking for while I'm making this video. It's very well possible. My May 20th date for the crossing, that the Earth crosses black star orbit path, could be wrong. It could be June the 1st. It's possible that, remember that my predictions for this quake event on this, let me get back over to here. My predictions for this quake event was on the Japan event from late last year, was actually for a window that appeared October 10th through the 12th. And so with the Philippine Island event, which took place about right here, then that could have been my event too, amid M and C class flares. I jumped onto this event here that changed everything. It happened about 2 weeks too late, saying that the black star was farther left in the orbit diagram than I originally thought. But now, like I said, all of this is under question now. This event in Japan fit the pattern perfectly, but it could be an anomalous event. This event could actually have happened earlier, squeezing all these lines back together, and my original prediction for May of 2015 could be accurate. But there are other models that need to be running. Let's look at where we are in the solar system right now. As far as the Earth, the Sun, and you see the Libra constellation behind Saturn. That's where the Earth is moving this way, prograde around the Sun, the same direction as all the other planets. And I have thought that the black star is in this area and that we should be having an alignment event right now. However, listening to the explanations of other people, then that includes Do Guy, I think his name is, on Revolution Radio when he called in, and I'm hearing the same kind of chatter coming from Don, our astronomer, and from other people, and they are wondering if this thing is farther out than I thought. And what I'm starting to wonder is if the binary twin to our sun is not orbiting our sun, and that it is orbiting a third point in space, which is the definition of a binary. It either orbits the sun or the third point in space. And has it already made a turn? Is it already making a turn inward out here somewhere? And is the object that is actually going to affect us an orbital of this other object? That is a consideration that has to be taken into account, but we're still inside the event window of May the 20th, 21st, 22nd. Earth is moving at 1.6 million miles per day around the sun, and there's an angle here. If the black star turns out to be just in front of us, then we're about to have a gigantic event. If we've already passed it, let's go look at the in the newsletter, let's go down and look at the seismic data. And if I can find it, it's down here. Here we go. This is the part that I have highlighted. Extremely active. 343 of my indicator quakes is only 2 away from the number of quakes we had May the 20th of last year. That was the highest value of the whole year by far, 160 above average and 60 higher than any other week of the year. This value right here, 56 5 magnitude quakes, that's the highest that we've seen since this investigation started. And here we had 3 sevens in the same week, and we had, what's that number there? 17 6 magnitude quakes in a 3-week period. That's about a 3 to 4 year value if you go back over the last 100 years, happening right here. So is this the focal point that I need to be looking at? Has the black star actually made a move right in the orbit diagram? And is it still coming closer? I've got contradictory evidence that's telling me different things. And in the absence of an event, see, if we truly crossed the black star orbit path on May the 20th, then the black star must be behind us. Draw your elliptical curve from Leo through Virgo through Libra and coming around. If we really 2 days ago passed the black star orbit path, then the black star must be behind us in orbit. And if it's already made a turn around that third point in space, then it is making a right-hand turn in the orbit diagram relative to Earth and the Sun. Is that possible? I don't know yet, because I need to have the values that are coming in this chart to see which direction that they're going. Am I going to get another 300 to 400 value that in this week that's coming up? You see, this value week ends 5/17. I need the seismic data for 5/20 for this week to be able to do a comparison. And then the more evidence I can gather, the more I can look back over this chart and recognize a pattern doing a comparative analysis to the previous 2 years. So exactly what's going on here, I don't know. I just have to tell you, I don't know. And are we in the moments before? Are we at the threshold of a big event because the black star is farther left in the orbit diagram than I thought? Because that's what's happened on the backside. That October 25th date took place over 2 weeks late, which seemed impossible to me at the time. And with the evidence that I have right now, we were supposed to reach outside orbit position February the 1st. Volcanism did not decline like it did on the previous 2 orbit cycles. That would be another indicator that the black star has made this right-hand turn, that its elliptical curve is curving, but it's not coming around the sun, that it's actually curving between the sun and that third point in space for the binary twin hypothesis. So I'm going to have more data before I'm going to be able to give you a definitive conclusion. So there's right underneath my black star report, then Astral Traveler's magnetosphere update report. I sent information to him. He sent information back, and he is seeing the anomalous activity that we should be seeing whenever we pass between the sun and the black star. So he sees the fluctuations that's going on with our magnetosphere, and I have not seen any evidence of a magnetopause reversal, which we should be seeing. But again, I've been looking into May. It could be that I'm going to have to go back and look into April, and that 3-week period where we had record earthquakes, to see if something different is happening than what I have thought in the past. So this has happened before. Like I said, after Solomon Island, there was a lot of confusion. My indicator quake value went down to 107, and it hadn't been that low since this investigation began. And that's because of the tectonic plate breaking, the dynamic changing, and and that kind of thing. I feel the same feeling in my gut right now, that there's something happening. This is an opportunity to understand more of what's happening, but just before I gather that data that's going to tell me more, then I am like standing in the darkness with a blindfold on, feeling around, trying to tell, where am I? Where's the black star? What's happening here? And so at the end of the day, at the end of gathering all the data from everybody this week, then, like I said, I have more questions than I do answers. There's a a video here by BP Earth where it appears to show a big giant object that's out there. But whenever you click on the video, you're going to see that this object appears to be a reflection of the sun. It's a duplicate image of the